Welcome to the official Windsurfing.TV preview show, and we are here for the opening event of the PWA Wave World Cup. And yes, we're back in windy Pozo. We've been here for a month, we've been covering the tidbits, we've been getting the build-up. If you haven't been tuning in, just check out the montage of the best bits from the last month.
Do you think that you're special? Or do you think that you turn me on? Or don't you nibble on my neck now? 'Cause you'll only disappoint. And now the games that you wanna play, or just to say what you gotta say. 'Cause you know I'll only criticize the way you can't even satisfy. 'Cause you are not as hot as you think you are. No, you are not as hot as you think you are. No.
So that's what's been going on in the last month. There's some crazy stuff going down. There was some big wipouts, as you saw, and some big moves. But as you know, it's nothing to do with what happens before the event. It's results that count. And in this event, there has been some dominant forces over the years. In the men, two guys really do stand out. And we asked around the beach to see, who are the names on people's lips?
The thing is, for Pozo, I really like Victor Fernandez, his style.
Philip Costa always looks like he's so smooth.
Philip Costa.
I think Philip will be hard to beat because of the jumping.
I think Victor Fernandez.
Oh, Victor Fernandez.
Philip. Gonna be boring inside Philip just because he shreds.
Some Costa again, for sure.
Philip again?
That's it.
Victor's been sailing, I'd say, quite a step up from last year as well, even.
So there you have it, two names, Victor Fernandez and Philip Costa, the two heavyweights of this event here in Pozo. Talk about stats. Okay, let's start off with age. Victor Fernandez, 32 years old. Philip Costa, 22. So 10 years between these two. Debuted on the tour, Victor Fernandez, in 2001. Philip Costa, 2006. Now, when do you think their first Pozo win was? Well, for Victor Fernandez, he was 22, which is the same age as Philip Costa is now. And Philip Costa, he won his first Pozo event at 15. Are you kidding me? He debuted at 12 and won his first event at 15. Okay, so there we go. That's pretty interesting stuff. But then we get to how many times have they won this Pozo event? Now, Victor Fernandez has won this event 5 times. Philip Costa has only won it 4 times. So he's a little bit younger. He's had an earlier start, but Victor Fernandez is winning that. Victor Fernandez has not been outside the top 2 in, I think, since 2006. Since he won his first event, he's not been outside the top 2. Now, that's an amazing stat. World titles, well, one man is definitely in the lead. Philip Costa, 3 world titles, 2011, 2012 and 2015. Victor Fernandez won it once in 2010. So there you go. That is the stats. There's quite some interesting ones there, and they are very tightly packed up. Age and height, we've touched on it before, but there's 10 years between these guys. Philip Costa weighs in at 92 kilos and is 1.92 meters tall. Victor Fernandez, 84 kilos and 184 centimeters tall. So they're a little bit of a size difference. Does it matter on the water? Well, I don't know. These guys are very evenly matched. going to come out on top between them? Well, if it was that easy, we could just toss a coin or they could go out and fight it out. But we do have some other contenders, and these contenders are not to be sniffed at. One man who was missing this year, Ricardo Campello. He's always up there, he's always challenging. It's a shame he's not going to be here, but he sustained an injury in Maui this year to his ankle, and he hasn't basically recovered in time. He was going to come, but I think in the end he's made a great decision for his body anyway, maybe not for the spectators, to sort of pull out, and he's going to sit at home and get the rehab done. He's going to join us for the next event in Tenerife. From one man who won't be joining us to the Podium Hunters. Now these guys, they're up there, but they're not in that top two. You know, Costa, Victor Fernandez have really hogged that top two for a long time. There has been a few years where I'm not there, but there wasn't many. So the other guys that are in the mix, well, you've got to say, Marcilio Brown had a shocker last year, 13th before the comp. He looked all set to get on the podium. He's only made the podium once here in Pozo. Could this be the year where he gets another podium, or he steps up even higher and challenges Costa and Fernandez at the top? I don't know, but what I've been seeing in the preview sort of pre-month sailing, I think he's got a very good chance. He's looking very professional and on fire this year. Definitely if the waves are coming up like last year, we saw the big swell, Alex Mussolini. Obviously a local over in Cabezzo in Tenerife. He turned on the style last year and got up there right in the mix on the podium. So Alex Mussolini, we'll definitely have to watch him. He's a very slippery customer. Got amazing wave rides, those big one-footed backies. Jaeger Stone, I mean, he has got all the moves. He absolutely is a speed demon. You see him going across the water. He's one of the fastest guys out there. And when the guys have got speed, they go super high. And Jaeger has got the double on lock this year. I've been sailing with him in Australia, and he's been nailing a load of doubles. So put that together with those powerful wave rides he's got, he's going to be definitely a podium contender. And then we move on to Danny Bruce. He's been bouncing around the podium for quite a few years. He's had a few fourths, I think, and he's been right up there. So Danny Bruce got new sales sponsors this year. Expect him to be there or thereabouts. We've got Robbie Swift. He came early about a month ago, and by all the rumours on the beach here, he was sailing really good when we had the waves. So obviously we're going to have to watch out for Robbie Swift. And we've definitely got to mention the crazy Frenchman, Thomas Traversa. A couple of years ago, he was world champion, deserved of that. It's never been his favourite event here in Pozo, but he just don't care. Now we move on to some outside bets. These are the guys that I've picked out that since I've been here, they've been pushing super hard. And if you've been watching the training diaries, you'll know the first name. Antoine Martin, Titoon, little Antoine, he has been pushing the envelope, and he's always a joy to watch on the water. He has got all the moves, but can he get it together in the heat? That's what everyone wants to know, so look out for him. Alessio Stilrich is another one I've featured on the diaries. He's one of the names on everyone's lips. He's got all the moves. He's kind of getting his head together. I see a change in him this year, and I really have high hopes for him. He's got all the moves down. He's looking really consistent, and I think he's got what it takes to push it at least into that top 5. Then we've got Alish Sanheili. Again, got some great moves when it really steps up. He's a Pozo local, knows the place really well, and he's got that young flair. He's coming back from a back injury a few years ago now, but he looks on full form at the moment. Pons, you've got to mention Pons. The guy is going into orbit. Saw him do a stall double the other day. Look absolutely perfect. He's got the 360s on lock. He's got all the moves. Nearly caused some massive upsets this last year. Will it be his year this year? We've also got to mention Omar Sanchez. He's got the 360 on lockdown. He's got the backside 3. He's got the big one-handed back loops. These are the boys that could cause the problems. And then I round this little group off with Adam Lewis from England. He looks like he's got the fire in him this year. He's going for the doubles, and he's getting some really nice ones. He's got the powerful wave rides, he's got the 360s, and he looks again in a good place. Who else have you got? Well, I'll tell you what you have got. We've got guys that have got past performances to go on. We've got one man back on tour this year, Julian Tabule. third, I think it was back in 2007. He's got what it takes. He's got that crazy tabletop forward loop that we're used to seeing. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what he got. You know, it was a long time ago. What, 9 years ago when he got his last podium here? 8-9 years ago. So it's going to be interesting. Has he still got the magic? We've also got a look at Dario Ojeda. He's been on the podium here before, I think 2 years in a row. He had a fourth before that. He has got past experience. A Pozo local, got some new sponsors, got a lot to prove, and he really likes to turn it on when the PWA comes to town. So watch out for those guys. Then we cannot forget the old timers. There's a few guys in the fleet. They're knocking on a bit, but they've still got the skills. Class might not want me to say this, but Class Boggett, he is probably the ultimate competitor for me. He turns it on competition. He's not turned up early this year, but no doubt he will put in that German competition mode and he'll just go into Terminator. He's done well in a fair few competitions in his past, and I expect to see him up there this year. John Sky only lives up the road. He's a wily old competitor. So is Mr. Profit. We're coming for you, young boys. And moving on. Now these are the guys that are not in the main event at the moment. They're in the trials. But don't let that fool you. There's some guys in these trials that can really turn on the magic. I think we've got Kenneth Danielson in there. We've got we've got a lot of guys. Marcus Ryberg. We've got a few of the young boys as well. But who we have got? We've got the local talent that have been on the podium here before. Jonas Ceballos, yes. He's not been sailing that much, but I saw him on the water the other day and he was looking pretty good. Had the 360s down, he's got the big jump still in the bag, and he could cause some upsets. He's got nothing to lose, and no doubt he's going to want to impress the home crowd. We also have the young guns who have kind of moved up from the junior level and are pushing the limits. Lloyd LeSavage is one. He's good on both tacks, but really good on port tacks. Got the tweak push loop down, back loops. I saw him nail some 360s the other day. And we've also got Mark Paré, who for me has been a real standout in this sort of run up to the main competition. Just boosting huge airs, like absolutely massive, going for it. He's been doing massive back, he's big forwards, pulled off a few nice goiters as well. And I think there's a few guys, if he gets through the trials, there's going to be a few scared guys in that first round. Me included, I really wouldn't want to draw him. You better tune in for the main event. Tune in for everything. That's the men done, and we're going to move on to the women next.
All is good. It's crying shame that you're misunderstood.
For the last 17 years, one woman has dominated the fleet here in Poso.
Women, Daida, of course. Yeah.
She was clued up on the women.
Daida, as always.
Daida.
Daida. Daida is this.
It's her event, isn't it?
The queen of Poso.
Daida holds.
Yes, she's even had a statue made after her. Well, her sail nom's up there and it definitely ain't pure. It could be one of the twins. They all look the same. Anyway, she has definitely dominated this event, and like you see, when we asked who was going to win this event, there was only really one name on people's lips. Daida Moreno, yes. She has won this event since 1999. She did have 1 year off in 2012 where Abaya took that title off her. Now, she hasn't won the world title every year. Her sister, twin sister, Abaya, has took a couple of those, but she has just dominated this Pozo event. And you can just check out the action from her. She goes massive here.
To tell yourself that all is good. It's
So Daida Moreno, that's my top tip for here in Pozo. Who is going to be challenging though? Who is going to be putting up the fight? Well, as I mentioned before, Abaya Moreno, her twin sister, she has just won the European SUP title. She was super happy about that. So she's been spending a lot of time surfing, really good on the wave. We've seen her land goiters before, wave 360s, and she could put a challenge. And I think she's actually going higher this year. She might not have sailed as much, but she's going higher. So Abaya will definitely be a force to be reckoned with, and Daida won't take her lightly. But who is in for the podium challenge? Well, Kawaniagi. Always used to be Kawaniagi, Naira Alonso, but both of those girls are not on tour anymore. So pulling up the next charge, it has to be Steffi Val. She's been doing it a few times. She's made it on the podium a few times, but can she do it here in Pozo in 2016? Well, if she's going to, she's going to have to beat Sarah Kita Offringer, our reigning freestyle world champion, our reigning, I think, slalom champion as well. She does it all, and she's turning her hand to the waves as well. She's been here early this year, and she's been putting in the moves. I've seen her land a couple of back loops, not so consistent yet, but she's getting a few. She's been landing some nice forwards, and she's also been sticking the push loops as well.
Girls, Sarah is pretty motivated. I don't know. Maybe Sarah, I would say Sarah.
The Women's World Cup. Might be close. Maybe Sarah this year.
2 votes for Sarah. How do you fancy your chances this year?
How I fancy my chances? Pozo is a special place, and I think I'm still not super used to the really strong conditions. So if it gets really strong, I'm hoping on a 3rd place. Let's say 3rd place. Yeah. I'm aiming for first, obviously, but if it's realistic, I don't know. That's the only thing.
What have you been working on?
My jumps, trying to get back loops. It's hard to get them dialed in. Like, I land them here and there, but not consistent. And stalled forwards, but I'm scared of heights, I realized.
You should do some Morgan Nareau training. Have you not seen what he's been doing?
I've seen his training. I think I'm gonna do this altitude training.
Who is the best of the rest? Well, Amanda Beenan in recent years has been challenging for that 3rd place. She's not quite pulled it off. She's held it in the single a few times, but hasn't quite got it together in the double. Could this be her year when she finally gets on that podium? She's been, she's actually been training over in Maui, which I'm not sure is the best training for here in Pozo, but we'll have to see how that works out for her. Justina Schnaddy is over here. She's been over here a couple of weeks now. She made it into the final of the super session and got on the podium with the Morenos, I think it was last year or the year before. So she has got what it takes. She's got quite a consistent back loop on her. She's been working on her stalled forwards as well. So that's going to be interesting. Can she pull it together in the competition? I was over in Oz this year. Lena Erpenstein as well was definitely one to watch. She's a new German girl pushing up. She's just signed for Severn Sales, and she's got a nice push loop on her. She's landed a few back loops. She's got a good forward, and she is definitely going to be in the reckoning, I think. We have Elisa Rukin. She made her way onto the podium a few years ago for the world title. She got over in Maui, Hawaii. It's not a favourite event here in Pozo. She's not super keen at the crazy jumping, but she has definitely got the wave rides to stack it up and maybe put a challenge in. Obviously, Katerina Stenter is going to be challenging hard. She came here nice and early, and she's been putting the work in on the water. I saw her doing bush suit lessons with Pons the other day, so it's going to be interesting to see how she gets on. We've got to mention Sarah Bibby from England. She's going to be pushing hard. She's come over. Just seen her on the water now, and she's going for it. Zoya as well. There's lots of other girls, so stay tuned. It's going to be an interesting one this year. Can anyone topple Dinah Moreno? I'm not so sure, but there's definitely going to be some podium people charging. But what we really want to know is, how is the forecast looking? Is it going to be like this? Is the wind going to be cranking? How are the waves going to be? Well, I'm not going to tell you. Let's go and catch up with someone who can tell us. So we found a weatherman, and I think this guy knows what he's on about when he comes to Pozo. Victor Fernandez. Firstly, I need to say, since 2006? Six?
Yeah.
In the top 2 every year. So you've obviously looked at the weather forecast here over the years. You've obviously learned a thing or two. I'm guessing you use the standard Wind Guru usually?
Yeah, I use the standard Wind Guru always. But when you see, for example, 14 knots in Pozo in this time of the year, like proper summer, July, it's almost double the wind of what they say. The same with the waves. They say maybe 1.4 is not double, but it's like proper waves to compete, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, we've seen a forecast earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Doesn't look so good Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The waves are small.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to compete. We compete maybe on Sunday, on the first day. The next 2 days, the waves, they look to go down, and the swell is a bit more north, so it's a bit sheltered from the north swell. It's better than northeast, like the wind direction. So, but after that, I think on Wednesday, from Wednesday on, until the end of the contest, looking pretty good with 1.5 4, 7, 8 period. The period is really important also for the little swell we get here.
Yeah.
And the wind is gonna be stormy. If it's like red or like today, you know, 20 knots, people are setting on 3.4 or 3.7.
Yeah, and that's the thing. 20 knots ain't 20 knots here in Pozo. Like you say, you double it, you got about 40 knots. Guys out there said 17 today, and there's guys on 3.4. So
Exactly.
looking at the forecast, it's looking good.
I think it's looking good. We're gonna have a good week, like for the juniors maybe at the beginning, and then for the pros.
Yeah, we should mention the juniors
of the week. Exactly.
Yeah.
The
We've got
juniors.
30 juniors or something.
Yeah, 30 juniors all over the world, from Hawaii, Japan, Spain, all over Europe, and I think it's really exciting this year.
How's your preparation gone for this event?
Well, I'm feeling good. I've been here for a month already. I came in May for 4 days with the forecast as well. My equipment is working great this year, my new sails and my boards. And yeah, if I'm not injured, I'm 100%. Let's see what happens, but I feel good.
Good. Well, good luck in the competition. We're going to speak to you later in the week, no doubt about it, through the competition. And obviously you and Costa have got this battle going on at the moment. You've had 5 victories here, he's had 4. So he's coming for you, but you're going to try and fend him off, no doubt.
Well, let's see, I go hit by hit. Every year is a new year. All the riders are feeling pretty good. Every year they step up more and more because they come here earlier than before, the years before. So the level is high, and you must be really, really good on every hit on the 12 minutes. No mistakes. Let's see if I can do another podium.
Yeah, that's a quick question. Equipment-wise this year, have you changed anything? Board still the same? 3 fins, 4 fins? What we looking at?
Using the quad in Pozo like last year. I love them. I have a lot of control when it's so choppy and windy. And my sails, they change a little bit. Now I can hold on them a little bit longer with more wind. Pretty much I use same things, same everything, just change a bit, few little things.
Yeah.
And it's all set up and ready to go.
Perfect. Well, good luck in the competition. Cheers for the rundown on the weather. So there you go, Victor Fernandez. He is ready for the competition here in Pozo. Like he said, there is a junior competition coming up, and we're going to be doing more on that as the week goes on. But that's the preview, and we're going to cut to the main event next. So see you all this week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching Windsurfing.TV, and cheers for the support. Much appreciated, I can tell you.